Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Rockman Power Hour, a podcast where we talk to people all about wonderful things in the world of pop culture. And this week on the show, we have got the guitar player from the band Amon Amarth. His name is Olavi Mikkonen, and we're really, really happy to have him with us this week on the podcast. But before we get too far, let's thank our title sponsor, Heartbeat Hot Sauce. They're a wonderful hot sauce company out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, small batch fermenters. I'm holding up the pineapple habanero, and you can check them out over at heartbeathotsauce.com. And if you use my promo code Rockman20 right down here, you will get 20% off your entire order of hot sauce. I would like to bring in my co-host, Ryan Stick. What is going on, my man? Oh, the sauce balls. What do you got going on over there?
I got a whole bunch of Heartbeat hot sauce. I decided to, I have a combo pack of awesomeness in my hands right now.
You look like you just coming back from a 4-day hot sauce bender.
Oh, yeah. Well, after I drank all this hot sauce in my mouth directly, I would like you to reanimate my corpse with my new T-shirt from Studio House Designs. See, I know how to rock sponsorships, man. I just working into casual conversations and stuff like that.
Whose sunglasses are those? Are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
Who am I wearing? I'm wearing shitty kiosk from Saint Laurent Street Elvis sunglasses. I haven't paid more than like $14 for a pair of sunglasses since 1997.
How do your eyes feel?
Oh, they're great. My eyes were pretty crappy at first, so it's
just continue.
There you go. Keep the bar low, Jason. Just like Melissa's taste in men. Keep the bar low. Can't really get disappointed.
God. All right. Anyways, thank you, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, and yes, thank you, Studio House Designs, as well, for making us look fresh. I got this bag here from my new ring. The company's called Han Cholo, and they're not sponsoring us, but I just want to show you my new ring. That's my They Live ring, and the reason why I ordered this was because I went to San Diego Comic-Con. As you know, Ryan, I'm a massive They Live fan. I got a ton of They Live stuff.
Very massive.
I've got a They Live mask that's over there that my friend made me. I've got some They Live figures. I love They Live. And when I went to San Diego, I passed by the Han Cholo kiosk, and they had these rings for sale, and I tried it on. I absolutely loved it. I looked at the price. I was like, no way am I spending that much on a ring for myself. Then I came back to Canada, and I couldn't stop thinking about the ring, and then I caved and I ordered it, and it showed up super quick, and I'm really happy with it. So that's it.
There you go.
I don't really rock rings, but the idea that there's a They Live alien ring, I think it's pretty damn cool.
So you had buyer's remorse on the other end. You had remorse that you didn't buy it.
I had like FOMO, fear of missing out, from buying a really cool ring. Anyways,
that happens to me all the time. Actually, ever since I was a kid, I saw this teddy bear I really wanted, and then my family's like, let's go on this roller coaster instead. We'll get the teddy bear afterwards, and I'm like, okay. And then I came back, and someone had stolen the bear. It's not even that they sold it; someone stole it. They had no record of where the fuck this bear went. Jason, I was traumatized, to say the least. I almost feel like I feel almost as traumatized as someone who puts on a pair of sunglasses and realizes that they've been living and banging an alien.
All right. So that's a great segue to our guest. There's a band. I don't know. Whatever. At this point, what does it matter? There's a band called Amon Amarth. I want to bring one of their albums into the picture here. So as you can see, so they are known as Viking metal. Check it out, man. This is one of their early. I believe this is from 2016. Yeah, and this is a great record. I love this album. Their music's fun, and you want to talk about winning the best gatefold of the year award? Look at that.
Whoa,
that is like a Viking.
Oh my god.
Look at that. I've never seen a gatefold that cool. So look at it.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Look at that. Oh, we're coming to you. Anyways, Amon Amarth are pretty much. They're an incredible band that have had this rampant following, and rabid following, I should say. Probably rampant. Whatever. They have a really strong following. And we got a chance to talk with their guitar player, Olavi. Very cool dude. There's one point in the interview where we talk about, what other kind of music do you like? And he goes, well, I like, rock, and I like punk and I like metal. And so basically he's a rock and roll guy through and through. And
Yeah.
they're quite a rad band. It was really, really fun to chat with him because I think a lot of people need to get into this band. Whether you're a big metal fan or not, they've just got something special. They do it really, really well. And their stage shows are bananas. I mean, imagine having one of these ships on stage with you. They've done that.
That's so amazing, man.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
I love theatricality, but at the same time, it's like, they come from the land of Vikings, like they're
Yeah.
embracing their heritage here. If
Yeah.
I did it, it would be cultural appropriation. It's like, stop dressing like Asterix, you fucking asshole. Like, that's what people would say to me. But no, these guys got it down, man. And they're fucking badass. You look at their videos with the stories and everything. And when I listen to their music, I want to pick up a fucking sword or a battle axe, man. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's pretty rad. So without any further ado, let's run and jump into our chat with Olavi Mikkonen of the band Amon Amarth.
Hey, sorry about that. I think my headphones, they just keep messing up my connection. I don't know.
It's all good, man. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you good.
They just decided to start digging up my street to change the water lines. I don't know if you can hear that.
No, I don't hear it, but that's all good. I have 4 dogs here, and they're probably gonna start making some noise.
Yeah, mine's gonna jump up on the couch in a minute. You can see her dog bowls right there.
All right.
You're a dog lover too?
Yeah, I like dogs.
You said that with a bit of not today though. I know.
No, it's nice to have. I mean, keeps the missus company when I'm gone.
Yeah, the biggest challenge for me with dogs is dog hair. Like all I wear is black t-shirts, and I have the rollers like constantly. I know you feel my pain, right?
Oh yeah, it's everywhere.
So new album is coming out, Great Heathen Army. The video is great. I really, really like the video for the first single title track. And what I like about this band is that every time there's an album that's released, it's an event. And sing about failed relationships. It just seems like there's a lot of thought that's put into every album concept, lyrics, and there's so many aspects to this band. And growing up, being a fan of Kiss, being a fan of Alice Cooper, I always liked bands that had a little bit more than just the music, that were multifaceted. So tell me about the thought and the process, not only putting together a record, but then putting together a tour, the visuals, all that. I mean, imagine there's a lot of thought that goes into that.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is that I agree with you. I also like more bands that have something else than only the music, so to say. Like Iron Maiden, they had a big fucking show.
Yeah.
Kiss, as you mentioned, and Alice Cooper. And that's kind of the thing we want to do too. I mean, obviously the music has to be great, but we see the band as like a full event, so to say. When people come to a show, they're not only gonna have ear candy, they're also gonna have eye candy. I mean, not that we are good-looking men, but we're gonna at least, try to give them something more like a show, like a full entertaining thing. And that's the bands that we grew up with. So, and luckily we are in a position where we can actually do that kind of shows. But going back to what you first asked, we always try to look at the big picture, and we definitely want all the songs to have a unique story by itself. I mean, we cannot see every song could be a lead single, so to say, and have its own little world. Obviously, The Great Heathen Army is the new album, and that's the cover of the album. But we try to have, for each song, should have its own T-shirt design. It should have its own little story, and even for live performance, that there's going to be maybe some new live gags for each song and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we always try to look at the big picture, and I mean, in the past, it's kind of easy to bounce around that kind of ideas when you're touring. But during the pandemic, we didn't really bounce that much.
Yeah.
Face to face, so to say.
Sure. Yeah.
But always when we're together, we talk about that kind of stuff, doing dinners and whatnot. Talk about it will be cool to do a song about that, or
and it must be fun when you get to a point where you do have a bit more freedom. You have a bit more, finances to play with, where you can, like Spinal Tap. We want Stonehenge. If you want to, you can do those kind of things, which is got to be satisfying as an artist.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, obviously, yeah, we have a nice budget these days, but I mean, imagine what we could do if we would be the same level as Iron Maiden or Rammstein, for instance.
God, I think you would. Well, and I just came back from. My wife and I went to Italy for the first time, and my wife's a big history buff. So we had to visit the Colosseum, and when they were explaining how they would flood the Colosseum and they would have boats and stuff. And I mean, imagine if you had that kind of budget, you could flood an arena.
Yeah.
The first time I saw you guys were at Heavy Montreal quite a few years ago. And the Quebec audiences in particular, I mean, I know you guys are a worldwide band, but coming from Montreal and coming from Quebec, the audiences for you guys here it's just insanity. I mean, they just really, really love what you guys do. Is it satisfying to get out on stage and see that people have bought into this, that people are really, they're like, again, there's so many facets to this band, but they've really bought in emotionally. Like, they're fans of your band are fans. It's got to be good when you look out and you say, man, we've built this and these people are really into it.
Oh yeah, it is kind of crazy, because I mean, sometimes you have to pinch yourself, and when I'm gonna wake up soon. Yeah. I mean, it is crazy, but at the same time, I kind of get it. I mean, I've been there too. I mean, I was a huge Kiss fan when I was a little kid, and then and eventually when I started to listen to harder music, when I found out about Slayer, I mean, there wasn't a Slayer show or an album or a T-shirt that I don't own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I totally get it in that way, but I'm really surprised that we are that kind of band too. It's not like I take it for granted. I think it's fucking amazing. But I totally see that the fan aspect of it too. And I think it's kind of cool to be that kind of band, because I know what you mean. There's a lot of bands, they have fans, they come and go, while our fans, they pretty much stayed throughout the whole, from whenever they're starting to listen to us. They kind of stick with us.
They're diehards.
And that's really, really cool.
It's really cool to see a band that has been, like, this is the 12th album. The band's been around for a while. And, things like you were saying, like, change, things come and go, styles change. But when a band has that kind of fan base, they stick with them. But also, things can happen in pop culture that will help a band sometimes. And, with the rise of Marvel films and with the interest in Thor and people going back and looking into mythology, shows like Vikings, that's got to be a bit of a boost for you guys, in the sense that people are already kind of looking into those areas.
Oh yeah, totally. And especially I remember when the first Thor movie came, and it was around the same time we were touring with Twilight of the Thunder God album. Mm-hmm. And I remember we were touring in North America, and Walmart, they had these plastic Thor's hammers you could buy. And there were tons of those on our shows. Yeah. And also recently, I mean, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla game.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer myself, and when I played that game, I was just smiling, because there was so much Amon Amarth. I mean, it's not Amon Amarth, it's Viking mythology, but
sure,
I see it like our stuff. That kind of stuff totally helped our band, no doubt about that. And I think it's kind of cool that people, maybe sometimes our lyrics can be a little, poetic in one way, and it's not so easy to understand. But if you play like Assassin, or you watch the Viking series, and then you actually can relate to it differently. Like Assassin's Creed, when you get to this the world of the gods, like Jotunheim and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is what Amon Amarth is singing about.
Well, and it's nice to see. I think it's great, and I'm always happy for bands when that kind of stuff happens for them, and it's just happy accident. It's just, just because you're on a course, like you guys are on a course no matter what. This is what you do. And, but when things kind of fall in line with the course for you, it's nice. We just I'm involved with several Comic Cons in Canada. I'm a spokesperson for them, and one of our guests was Clive Standen, who plays Rollo, and in Vikings, and it was just fun to see his reaction when I mentioned to him that I was going to be chatting with this band. He was like, "Oh, that's really, really cool." So it's just fun to see those kind of things come together. So for you personally, musically, you mentioned you were a fan of Kiss growing up, of Maiden. What would be a band that you listen to that people would be really surprised? And I'm not talking, because I'm sure, if you were to say classical, people would understand, but what would be something that people would go like, what? He likes that?
I don't know. I guess I'm a boring person in that sense, because I listen to hard rock, heavy metal, thrash metal, black metal, death metal. So and I don't listen to any other. I mean, if the radio's on and there's a pop song, I mean, I don't turn it off, but I'm not gonna listen to that in my headphones when I'm at the gym. But but the thing is that I like Def Leppard, like Pyromania or AC/DC, Black in Black, equally much as I love Creator or Slayer or Iron Maiden or Marduk, for instance. I mean, as long as it's metal or hard rock and good, I like it.
Yeah, but you're not going to be listening to like the new Arcade Fire album or the new Kendrick Lamar album?
No, I don't even know what that is.
I love it. The band has gone through changes over the years, but there's a pretty solid nucleus in terms of bouncing ideas off of each other, studio wise and writing. Is it an all hands on deck kind of effort, or like will someone come in with an idea, or is it like, do you guys still work stuff out in a studio together? Or obviously with the pandemic, and preparing for this album, there might have been a lot of file swapping, but do you guys still sit in a room together and come up with ideas?
Not really. I mean, obviously, when we go to a studio, we know what's going to happen. We never go into a studio and try to come up with something in the studio.
Do you see her back there licking your water?
Oh, yeah, I see it, yeah. So basically, all the songs are already written and ready when we go to in the studio. But nowadays, and I think it's been like that for 10 years now, that we all write on our own. We have the same studio setup at home, everybody. So we basically just send files. But sometimes me, Ted, and Johan, the other guitar player, we get together to bounce off some riffs.
Yeah.
But for most part, we all work on our own. And especially the last few albums, Johan Singer, he's been pretty much working on his own.
And is it cool when you get ideas back? Like, do you still get that feeling like when Johan will send you something back and go, "Hey, listen to the idea that I put over this"? Will that does it blow you away? Like, or do you still get that feeling?
Oh yeah, totally. But I mean, it's not. I mean, there's also some songs that we, it's like a community, whatever. When we have this, we're bouncing ideas with each other. I mean, usually it's easier when you're on tour, because then you're in a tour bus and you can easily talk about that kind of stuff in the evenings or whatever. But I think for this new album, I think, for instance, there's a song called Hadron, and that's something I think Ted came up with. That that's a mythological character that we never covered before.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not only Johan the singer coming up with ideas. There's also other guys throwing
so it's really a community effort when it comes to this band.
It is. It really is. But it's not that we are always sitting in the same room. I think for most part, I would say we work individually.
The new album, I got a chance to listen to a good chunk of it, and I really came into you guys a little late in the game. I came in on this record, and I remember my daughter picking this up and she was just like, "What is this?" and then she opens it up and she sees this, and it was really cute to see from a kid's perspective. But it's almost like a history lesson when you listen to your music, And do you ever have to fact check? And do you guys have a certain source that you go to when you're singing about this? Like, do you ever have people that'll listen and be like, "Actually, you were wrong about that year," or you're like, do you ever have people that are that diehard that'll analyze it?
I haven't really heard anybody complain, but I'm pretty sure because Johan writes all the lyrics, so I'm pretty sure he knows what he's talking about, and I'm sure that he's double checking everything.
So. So you guys all must be history buffs as well. I mean,
obviously you learn. I mean, I learn too when I read all the lyrics. So, and every time when we have something new, like the Hidden Army, that's something we haven't covered yet. This is the first time we sing about. I mean, I think we had maybe a song in the past, but not like this. So this is actually the first time that we covered the Viking invasion of England. And obviously, I learned too when I read that. When we started out almost 30 years ago, I mean, back then I kind of dug into all this Viking stuff because it was exciting, and for me it was something new, so to say. But I mean, and after that, I mean, I don't really read stuff on daily basis anymore. But it's a good lesson for me too.
Yeah, and again, it shows that there's a lot to dig in. But I imagine when you're in it, when you're living it, at one point you're like, all right, I want to read a science fiction novel, or I want to do something a little bit different. In terms of touring, I know the touring cycle is kicking up in the fall. This is a band that needs to tour everywhere. I mean, you have fans all over the world. Is it a daunting task putting together? I mean, obviously, forget about a pandemic. I'm just talking in regular times. Putting together a touring cycle. You guys tour for a long time on records, I imagine, because you have a lot of places that you need to go.
Yeah, I mean, luckily we are a worldwide band, so to say.
Yeah.
And no, I don't really see a problem with that. I think it's great. I mean,
no, but in terms of like, let's say you're at home and you're comfortable, like when you have to go and you have to leave, like you're mentioning your dogs, and like it's got to be a bit like, oh man, there's got to be a bittersweet side to it where you
Of course it is. I mean, I think it is what it is, and there's really nothing. There's no way to change that. The only way to change that is stop playing in a band, and I think I think it is what it is. I think that's the easiest ways to put it. I mean, obviously there's downsides to it. I mean, because I'm traveling so much with my work, so I don't really like to travel privately.
Right.
And I hate that I miss stuff that happens, because if something is going to get broken home, it always breaks down when you left. You know what I mean? It happens on the fucking cab ride to the airport. That's when the water pipes or whatever is going to start leaking.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that. But it is what it is. And luckily I have a good woman that understands that, it is what it is. And whenever I'm home, I'm trying my best to do what needs to be done. But if I'm not home, I'm not home.
Right.
And that's the life we have.
And the plus side of it is I'm sure you still get excited when you see a full itinerary coming. Like when it gets sent to you and you're like, all right, we've got 45 dates. I'm sure there's a part of you that like you can't wait to get back on stage.
Oh yeah. I mean, playing live is the reason you actually make music. No doubt about that. But then of course, I mean, there's nothing fun in traveling. There's no fun.
No.
There's no fun in sleeping in new beds every fucking night. Because I mean, the older you get, and especially, I mean, it was easy 20 years ago when you were totally hammered. You could fucking sleep on whatever couch or sofa, whatever. But now when you get older, if you sleep in hotels every night, the bed is different. It's difficult to get used to it. You don't like the pillows and whatnot. And, it is what it is.
It's funny because whenever I would travel, I used to play music. When I would travel, I was an early adapter of bringing my own pillow. At least I had my own pillow that I brought with me, because if I had my own pillow, at least that would be some kind of a comfort. Nice firm foam pillow. I would be good. When you guys travel, you guys are obviously a close unit. Do you get any time to look around? Are there ever places where you're like, all right, when we're going to be, let's say we're going to be in Prague, we have to take a day off because there's a place we'd like to go to, or is that not on the table? Like, are you able to do that at this point in your careers where you say, hey, we're in Paris, I want to be there for 2 days?
I mean, of course we can, if the itinerary allows to stay at one place. But for most part, if I'm going to be honest, I mean, since we've been around the world so many times, that I think we already done pretty much everything. But of course, if we go somewhere, and if that's the Grand Canyon area, or I don't know, Niagara Falls or whatever that we haven't seen, and it's there and we have time, of course we will go see it. But I think we pretty much done whatever can be done.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean,
yeah, no, of course. I mean, you guys have been doing it a long time, but I mean, there must be some places where you're like, I can't wait to go back to that place because they have that sushi place, or they have that, you know, like if you can try to get there, there's probably a little bit of that, or, you know, of course, friends. I'm sure every city you play in, you have friends that come. There's got to be some things about it that you look forward to, where it's like, oh, I'm going to see that guy in New York, or.
Yeah, totally. And also, you know, we all, we really like to, you know, go to nice restaurants, try nice different food. So that's a big thing. And we always try to plan our day offs. Maybe sometimes we plan a day off because there's a nice restaurant that we know, that we like.
Sure. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And also, I think the bigger we, you know, become as a band, we can also put in more comfort on touring. You know, we can have better buses and you know, less people in each bus and stuff like that. And that makes things easier. There's more space that you can actually, everybody can have their own corner, and with a TV and PlayStation or whatever they want to do. So I think that's stuff you need to do to be able to do it as much as we do.
Yeah. And it's, it shows that you guys put a lot of effort into everything. I love everything around this band. I love the imagery. I love the music. I love the live show. So continued success. Thanks for taking the time to chat. And I'm very curious to see what the live show is going to look like for this, because there's always, you know, in terms of the backdrops, the visuals, there's not many people that can pull off what you guys pull off. So congrats for doing it. And for taking the time to chat today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm also looking forward to play Montreal, because we're playing this a big place.
Yeah, you're playing Place Belle. Yeah.
Yes, so it's gonna be all in there. That's gonna be a full show. Because last time we played the Tellus, we did it for 2 nights. But I mean, it's a nice venue, and it's a really cool venue. But the stage is not that big. So finally, we can do a full fucking show in Canada.
Get the whole fucking ship up there.
We'll see.
Thanks for taking the time, man.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Care. All right, dude. It's fucking awesome, man. This band is heavily loved by 2 of my best friends, Big Dave and Marco. And Big Dave is a big man.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
But that's the band they listen to in Big Dave's big truck. That's the compromise they can both make, because they both really like this band. So it just goes to show, like, you know, it's big, angry music that's loved by both giant men and petite ladies. It's their fan base is all around, like everybody who, yeah, exactly. There's not, you can't put their fan base in a drawer, is what I'm saying. It's really vast how much people actually really love this band.
And they're going out on tour. They're going to be actually passing through Montreal in the month of December. So we're looking forward to going to that show. We're actually going to be running a promo for that show on the Rockman Power Hour. So keep it locked on our socials for that. We're going to be giving away some tickets for the show. Ryan, thanks so much for hanging out. It's been an absolute pleasure. A big thanks to our sponsors, Heartbeat Hot Sauce. Check them out. Ryan's got 1,000 bottles around him right now. You can check them out.
That I use to pillage villages and burn down enemy boats.
And our thanks again to them. Order your hot sauce right now using my promo code right here, Rockman20, right down there, and that'll get you 20% off your entire order. Also, a big thanks to our producer, Julia Kajerski, and Ryan Stick, and all of you for joining us here on the Rockman Power Hour. We'll see you next week.